Welcome to the Panic Button, everyone. I'm Nina. So today we're going to be reacting to a video of this chick right here. You've probably seen her before. Her clips have gone viral on many occasions. She speaks out against the gender ideology. She's part of the LGBT community, I think. And she posted a video. A friend of mine sent this video to me, Voices with Vicky. Check out her YouTube channel. She sent this to me, and I found it very interesting, and I wanted to go through it with you guys. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
I can't believe I'm about to put this on the internet. This is a conversation I've been wanting to have with my following for about 6 months. I just have not. I have not been ready to. And then I saw this comment, and something inside me said, it's time to bite the bullet. It's time. And I think the reason being is because I know that this is going to speak to someone. Someone's going to relate to this, and this will help someone. So before I start, just know that you are not alone in this. My dating history is not extensive. I'm not that kind of person. I've been with 2 women, both relationships totaling 5.5 years together. About 6 months ago, I started a process called EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Basically, what this is meant to do is reprocess certain things that are stuck in your short-term memory and move them over to long-term so that you can basically better live your life. One of the things that I have been facing in this whatever process happens to be some unfavorable experiences that I've had with men. This is not me seeking sympathy. I don't want sympathy. I don't regret anything that has happened to me, regardless of what it is, because I know it happened for a reason, and I know that it has made me into the person I am today, and I'm so
Okay, a few things here. Number one, when I was outed as a lesbian, it was right before, it was right after I started dating a girl in high school. It was my first girlfriend. When we were dating for about 2 years or so, and then when I was 21, I was in a relationship for 2.5 years. But if I could have found more lesbians out there, I definitely would have been dating longer. But around the time that I was outed, up until my late 20s, being gay really wasn't popular. It certainly wasn't easy to find gay chicks out there, especially when you're a lesbian who's attracted to feminine women. It's really hard to find feminine gay lesbians out there. It was very easy to find the butch ones, but I was never really attracted to them, so didn't really date that often. But she's only 23, and I know that it's easier as a lesbian to date now than it was back when I was younger. So the fact that she's only had a couple of relationships, even though, she's 23, it kind of surprised me a little bit. Not saying that you have to be like a hoe or anything like that, but that kind of made me a little curious about why she hasn't had more relationships. But then there's another thing that she mentioned, which was that her bad experiences, they happened for a reason. Now, I know a lot of religious people out there say, everything happens for a reason, but I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't think that you should be thankful to God for the bad experiences that you had because evil people took advantage of you. I find that to be not helpful at all, and I just don't agree with it. If you have a bad experience, saying that pretty much God made you go through those bad experiences, it doesn't sound like God to me. It sounds like the devil. And I'm not religious, so I guess Christians out there, you gotta let me know your opinion of this, but it sounds a little weird to me. I'm not trying to make fun of her. I'm just saying that going through horrible experiences, it all happened for a reason. I don't agree with that. I don't. Because then wouldn't that be like God put bad people on this earth to put you through a horrible experience for a reason? Does that mean that God's creating bad people to hurt you? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. So I had to stop it there because that kind of threw me for a loop a little bit.
I'm so thankful for that, genuinely. Like, I don't need pity. I don't need sympathy. Just please, there's a reason I'm saying this, though, because it's tying into what I'm getting at. I am not in any way, shape, or form saying my sexuality has and is or will be 100% dependent on nurture. I think it's a little bit of nurture and nature, in all honesty. But I have started to realize through this reprocessing that a lot of my views around men have come from the fear I have around men. I have actually decided, myself personally and with my relationship with God, I've put my hands up. Like, fully. I literally told God, bring whoever or whatever you're gonna bring, because I'm not here to do things my way. I'm here to do things your way, and however that looks. And
so when she's saying bring whoever my way, so God's choosing who you're going to date. God is going to influence these people to show up in your life, and you're going to date them, even if it's like a guy. Could be a bad person. Just because someone shows up in your life and you feel that it is God doesn't mean that that person is good or was sent by God. I think that she's a little confused. It seems like she's going through some sort of self-discovery and maybe some religious discovery as well. And this rapid eye movement therapy seems to be bringing up some stuff for her or replacing certain traumatic memories for her in her brain, replacing them and putting them in different places. I don't know. I know that a lot of science backs up this therapy, but I've looked into it. I don't really get it. I understand what it's about, but I don't know. For me, it seems kind of hokey. I don't know. I'm very suspicious of it. I'm very suspicious of it, but I'm also very suspicious of the whole therapy, the whole mental health thing in general. Back in the day, I wasn't as suspicious of it as I am now, because the way that they're teaching these therapists and counselors and psychologists and psychiatrists today, I don't think it's actually helping people as much as it used to. I think they're training them in a way to where it's meant to not help them go on and live their lives, but instead it's meant to help them to keep coming back to therapy, where they're never able to get out of it. And I mean, I've done therapy. I've done therapy years and years and years and years and years, ever since I was like 12. So I know the whole therapy routine. I've been to therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors, the psych ward. I've done it all, seen it all. And the way that therapy was for me back in the day and the way that it sounds like it's being done now is completely different. And I don't think it's benefiting people as much as it used to.
Relinquished control, basically. Is that a scary thing to do? Absolutely. 100%. Do I know what's going to happen? Of course I don't. Am I going to marry a woman? I don't know. Am I going to marry a man? I don't know. Am I attracted to women? Yeah. Am I starting out of nowhere that I can't even explain and I don't know why to start seeing men as attractive? Yeah. Yeah.
Hold up. Okay. So, let me break this down for you. Ever since I had memories, I was always attracted to girls. Always. Attracted to my babysitters, my teachers. Wasn't attracted to boys like that. I thought I had to be, but I never was. But one thing I did know was that I could find men to be attractive. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that I was attracted to them. I mean, I could see how they're attractive. Like a painting. A nice painting could be attractive. I think the painting is nice to look at, but I don't want to have sex with it. And I certainly won't be able to fall in love with it. That's how I see men. I'm not sure if she sees men the same way, but I think with a lot of women who are attracted to women, mainly, I think they get confused when they see a guy and they're like, oh, I like the way his body looks. Oh, he's a very attractive guy. I think they get being attracted, sexually attracted to a guy and finding them to be an attractive person completely different. They're taking the, oh, I think this painting is attractive to look at, and the, oh, I'm sexually attracted to this painting. I think they're trying to put those two together. I think that maybe if she sees a guy like Patrick Swayze, for example, for me, I always found him attractive, right? He's a very attractive guy, nice tookus, great dancer, handsome, very handsome. Do I want to have sex with him? Nope, never did. Could I fall in love with a guy that looked like Patrick Swayze? No. But I could admire the fact that he's attractive. I think with some women who find only women, or majority of the time women, attractive, I think that when they see these guys and they say, oh, he's attractive, I think they're mixing that up with, oh, I'm attracted to him. You could find something visually appealing while still knowing that you're not sexually attracted to them. You know what I mean? Is this making sense? Am I verbalizing this correctly? Sometimes I have a problem with that. I'm trying to explain this in the best way possible. But I'm just going out on a limb here and saying that maybe when she looks at these guys, she's thinking, oh, he's a nice guy to look at. But because she thought that, maybe she was thinking, oh my God, if I think he's nice to look at, maybe I am attracted to him. And that's not the case. You can find something visually appealing without wanting to have sex with it. You know what I mean? That is a thing. So I'm just kind of not saying that that's how she actually feels. I'm just saying that can be confusing for some lesbians out there. And I just want to say that just because you think a guy looks appealing and attractive doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're bi or straight. It just means that certain things are visually appealing to you, but it doesn't mean that you want to fuck them.
And a lot of those beliefs I had in my head for a long time, now that they have started to be reprocessed and desensitized towards, I'm starting to see that a lot of this was based out of fear. And maybe that's something I should try to face. That belief that every man is going to hurt me or every man has bad intentions. I've started to realize even though that was so deeply ingrained in me, it's not true. And looking back, I don't know why it has taken me so long for me to realize this, because I have.
Okay, so what I'm gathering so far is that she thinks that because she had traumatic experiences with guys and she was afraid of them, that maybe that's why she was only attracted to women instead of guys. And maybe the fact that she's not attracted to guys is out of fear and irrationality and not because she's gay. Well, that could be a possibility, but just because it doesn't always mean that you're not gay. You always got to keep that in the back of your mind, that just because of that doesn't mean that you're not gay. Could mean a multitude of different things. Nature versus nurture. We try to figure out, how did I become gay? Was I born gay? Did I become gay? Was I nurtured into being gay? I can tell you this. For me, I've always known I was gay. I never questioned it. I tried to be different at one point when I was younger because, I didn't want to be bullied. It was horrible. And the norm and being normal seemed like that's what I should do. Be normal. Life would be easier. It wouldn't be so hard. It wouldn't be so lonely, because most women weren't out when I was outed. So it becomes very lonely. So you date guys who are your guy friends. You don't make out with them. Sometimes you do, and you're like, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. But it didn't make me not gay. It made me trying to be something that I knew that I wasn't in order to make life easier. But really, I was still so lonely, wanting the affection of an attractive woman. Guys just did not cut it. You can't force someone into not being gay. No matter how much therapy you go through, or how much it is despised by the majority of people you're around, you can't change it.
Such a loving father that literally would go to battle in half a second for me. And my brother, if needed and who has been my biggest rock and my biggest support system in my entire life. And he has been the one to show me that not all men are bad people, in all honesty. I don't know what the point of this post is, all in all. I guess just to be as authentic and honest with you guys, and also so you're not surprised if one day I post a picture with a man. If, I don't know. Only that guy knows, so not up to me, not up to me.
It's not up to her if she's gay. It's up to God if she's gay. Okay, wow. So you're not born gay. God creates you to be gay or straight. And God can turn you from gay to straight. I mean, this is what I'm gathering from watching this video. So, I'm sorry, guys. I just find this wrong. I find it wrong. Because she's saying, I'm just trying to go through this in my head here. She's saying, I don't know. I mean, I've always been attracted to girls, not really guys at all. But the only one who knows if I'm going to end up with a guy is the big man upstairs. And if he sends me a guy, then I'm going to date him because that's who God sent me. No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. If she's convinced, like if a guy shows up in her life that seems really nice, and then she relates that to, God chose this guy for me to come into my life because, oh, poof, all of a sudden he's here. It doesn't mean that he's the right guy. It doesn't mean that he's a good guy. You're putting a lot of faith into the unknown. And I know, religion is about putting faith in the unknown, but you're like changing your sexuality because you think that whatever happens in your life, it's going to be because of God, and it's really not giving you any space to make your own decisions based on you knowing you. You're giving up yourself and who you are to some dude in the sky, and you're just allowing fate to take place, and you'll go along with it. Does this sound right to you? It doesn't sound right to me. It doesn't sound right. It sounds very, very wrong. I don't like it. I don't like it. No offense to her, but I don't like this.
Not up to me, actually. No, but in all seriousness, I'm 23 years old. I've been through a lot of things that I don't talk about on here. A lot of things that people probably wouldn't even expect. And starting to realize that maybe some of these things are playing into how I view certain groups of people. Am I still gay? Yeah. Chicks are hot. Sorry.
Sorry. You can't say that now. You can't say you're gay. You just said a few sentences back that, hey, if you end up with a guy, you end up with a guy. No lesbian ever says that. No lesbian ever. So from what I've heard in this video, she is not gay. She is free from sexuality until God chooses a partner for her. That's not gay. Gay is knowing I'm never going to end up with a man because I never wanted to. And I'm not attracted to them. I know I can't fall in love with them. That's who I am. Very much attracted to women. Always been able to fall in love with women. I yearn to be intimate and to love a woman. That passion, that's a lesbian. Her being like, oh, maybe I'll end up with a guy, that's not a lesbian. So I'm sorry, but from what she said, she's not gay.
But are dudes hot? Some, I guess. Some of them. Some are just musty. I can't make a serious post without making jokes. I'm coping. I am coping. Here it is. 6 to 7 minutes of just being real. This is where I'm at as a human being on my walk in my life. As a 23-year-old girl, somewhere in the hills of Tennessee, just trying to figure out what the frick I'm doing, okay? I hope that this has spoken to someone. If you're going through something similar, you're not alone, This is what's happening in my life right now. So if 6 months from now I post a picture with the man somehow, maybe, just don't be surprised. But in all honesty, I am traumatized from relationships, so maybe not.
To end this video, I will say this. She's young. She's confused. Sometimes when you're young, you feel the need to find yourself. Sometimes you even force yourself to do so. But you don't need to face all your trauma in 1 year. Sometimes it takes a lifetime. You don't need to force yourself to be with people don't really feel inside is right for you, but you're giving it up to God. You don't have to find who you are so fast. Some people are in their 50s and 60s. They still don't know who they are. It's a process. It takes time. You just have to live your life. Don't force things. You can figure things out, but this just seems forced. It doesn't seem authentic. It feels like she's trying to do too much. And I don't think it's going to be very helpful for her. Finding yourself and figuring out why you are the way you are takes years. Years and years and years and years. You're not going to figure it out overnight. And just because you had a revelation one day doesn't mean that revelation is going to still be a revelation a year from now. It could not make sense later on. Then you find out that that revelation wasn't really a revelation at all. It was just confusion. And then you really figure things out. But you can't force yourself to find yourself, and you can't force yourself to figure out why you are the way you are. It takes time, and it takes just living life, and eventually you come to realize a few things. And sometimes therapy doesn't actually help. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it can give you false ideas of who you are. Well, end up confusing you more than helping you. Not all the time, but she just seems more confused and frustrated than anything else. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like and subscribe, comment below. Let me know if you agree with me or you don't. And I'll see you in the next one. Crawling, hard